People are saying, the immediate forecast is kind of business as usual. Obviously, the events on Thursday and Friday inject a whole lot of uncertainty and volatility into the political and economic picture right now. But we're a business that has very strong fundamentals, and what we provide to our customers really is perfectly positioned to help them in times like this.
Okay, so I understand that as the public positioning of your company, but you can't tell me you're not worried that whenever this train gets started down the road, right, whenever the Article 50 thing gets triggered and whenever things start moving, you're not going to have to consider your options. What are some of those options?
You're absolutely right. I mean, when you look at what makes London a great place for financial technology startups like us, it really comes down to access to talent, access to a large market, and a well-coordinated regulatory regime. So we're going to be doing what everybody else is doing and kind of continuing with our business here, but also thinking very carefully about how we make ourselves a much more international business, and that will include looking at options such as setting up a branch office in a jurisdiction where we know we'll be able to maintain access to the EU market.
So you could plan a weekend office space hunting trip to Hamburg, say?
Or Dublin, or Berlin, or Paris, or any of the other places that we'll be looking to attract the next generation of technology entrepreneurs.
Right. Let me back you up for a minute and ask you about you thinking it's still business as usual. How can that be how can that be true when arguably the biggest trading partner that the United States has and one of the key economic influences in the world is well, shambles is too strong, but it's in some trouble.
Yeah, look, again, I would kind of say that there are certain things that are within your control and things that aren't. So it's not going to be an easy road by any means, but the world must go on, and as the British like to say, keep calm and carry on.
Yeah, how's that working so far, man? Right?
Well, I think this is it's definitely being put to the test right now. So
Justin Fitzpatrick, we got him in London. He is the COO and co-founder of a company over there, an American startup called DoDill. Justin, thanks very much.
Thanks very much. Take care.
Use the middle 2 lanes to take the I-80 East ramp.
In the short term, I think people will do what they often do when things are uncertain, which is just put it all on pause.
Brexit, uncertainty, and tech. But first, let's do the numbers. Dow Industrial's off 260 points, 1.5%, finished at 17,140. I take no joy in the Wawas today, by the way. The Nasdaq off 113 points, 2.4%, 45.94. The S&P 500 dropped 36 points, 1.8%, 2,000 even on that index. Their banks, analyst/forecast from Barclays, Royal Bank of Scotland, and Lloyds Banking. Trading in Barclays and RBS was suspended. Barclays down 17% today, 32% since the vote. RBS off 15%, Lloyds down 10%. Our banks, Bank of America had the worst day, down 6%. Citigroup off 4.5%. Morgan Stanley down 3.7%. If you happen to be in the market for some gold, remember what Tracy Chapman was telling us about? Anyway, if you're looking for gold, how about mine? Barrick Gold is the world's biggest gold digger, mining in Tanzania, Australia, Argentina, and here in the U.S. Barrick up 3% today. Gold Fields with mines in South Africa, Ghana, Australia, and Peru up 1.8% today. Bond prices rose. The yield on the 10-year Treasury, listen to this, fell to 1.45%. The 10-year was at 1.74 when the polls closed. You're listening to Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by Ooma, a cloud-based phone service working to help small businesses run efficiently and improve customer service with mobile features to stay connected from anywhere. Ooma, the smartphone for your business. More at ooma.com. And by Battelle, supplying U.S. troops with life-saving technology so they can operate in the world's most dangerous environments. Because at Battelle, it can be done. More at battelle.org/troops.
Did you hear a song on Marketplace you really liked? Well, we've got good news for you then. You can find the whole list of the music we play on the show on our website. That's marketplace.org/latest-music.
places top each day. Subscribe to the and another called a frustration clause. Contract that doesn't have to be sued.
Either because it can't be, because physical circumstances have changed that make it impossible, or because it suddenly becomes illegal.
Imagine widgets or teddy bears from London to any country.
The deals have...
Be hard.
Their burritos don't quite have the creamy goodness of a nice Stilton, but Chipotle's trying real hard to get itself back on track. Yes, Chipotle of the food poisoning outbreak. The company starts a new customer loyalty program on July the 1st, as in Friday. Both revenues and sales have cratered since the scandal, but Chipotle's betting on those customer rewards. Gigi Duban has that story.
It's called a Chiptopia card. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but Chipotle is hoping this new loyalty rewards program gets more customers rolling into its stores. In general, these programs are very effective, says Kelly Pickle. For instance, ones break through the noise.
I think that differentiation is really important as these become more and more common.
Business. And for Chipotle, he says, a loyalty rewards program.
Maybe a little premature.
He says the company should work on rebuilding loyalty before it expects loyalty in return. I'm Gigi Duban for Marketplace.
The relationship between the U.S. technology industry and European regulators has been rocky at best. See also Microsoft in the late 90s and early aughts, and Google right now, for that matter. The United Kingdom has often been a moderating influence on the European regulation discussion, so I got our senior tech correspondent Molly Wood on the phone to see what a Brexit might mean tech-wise. Hey, Molly.
Hey, Kai, how are you?
Yeah, I'm well. It is no secret that tech tensions have been high between a lot of European countries and the States. What happens here now? Because the UK had been a little bit of a moderating influence, right?
Yeah, the UK is very tech-friendly, and there is sort of a question of what will happen now that the EU is free to pursue all of the antitrust and privacy and data sharing, all of the things it's been after. Most experts agree that in the short term, it's not like the EU is going to all of a sudden enact stricter regulations. They will, for one thing, have bigger fish to fry. And if the economy continues to struggle, like many have predicted that it will, if there's an actual Brexit, the last thing that the EU is going to do is sort of continue to alienate or annoy big tech companies.
Let me put it to you a different way then, right? Because remember, Germany and France were the home of things like the right to be forgotten.
Yep.
Right? And that was at least partly pushed back against by the presence of the UK in the EU, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. So then the other side of that coin is, so you could argue that they will have bigger fish to fry. There's no way they're going to enact even more stringent privacy and data regulations. Or they might, because one of the things that EU has been trying to do with some of these regulations is buy time for European companies to get up to speed. They're only now in Europe enacting a single digital standard. They're unifying copyright law across all of the different nations so that you can do business without having to license content individually per country.
Oh, yeah.
So they've been stalling. They've been stalling so European startups can get up to speed, and it's true that they may continue that campaign, make it even stronger.
Huh. Let's look at the flip side of this thing. What kind of tech market could the UK become, assuming the whole Brexit thing actually does happen?
Yeah, to me, this is the really interesting part, because London has become a legitimate tech hub. You know, Wales has this crazy super broadband infrastructure build out.
Wales? You mean as in Prince of?
Wales. Wow. Turns out, super fast broadband infrastructure set to be completed any day now. And so it's possible that the UK, down the road, when things have calmed down a little, when they're in a position to do a lot of investment, offer a lot of tax incentives, they could say to the tech industry, hey, we're where you want to be. We have had friendlier regulation. That gets a little tricky because, of course, they have to have regulation that will be EU friendly also. But they are in a position to really reach out to the tech industry, the biotech industry in particular. They've done a good job of that already. And you could really see the UK position itself as a big-time tech hub.
I will now ask you the question that I'm going to ask everybody I talk to about Brexit and the global economy from now on. And it goes like this. Uncertainty is basically the new normal, right? We have uncertainty, get over it. How will that affect, do you think, the tech industry in this country as it relates to the EU and the UK?
Yeah, in the short term, I think people will do what they often do when things are uncertain, which is just put it all on pause. Yeah, there are a couple issues that are huge, and one of them is data, and it's super nerdy to get into, but anybody who was planning to build a big data center in the UK is probably going to hold off for now, because it's unclear how that data is going to be able to be shared and used across borders. Anybody who was planning on making a massive investment may just wait a second. Now, there's a good argument to be made, though, that when there's blood in the streets, you should buy property, and moving pause is not the right thing to do.
Lovely. Molly Wood, our senior tech correspondent. Thanks, Molly.
My pleasure.
Keep left.
This final note on the way out today, which falls squarely into the, yeah, I get it, but a tad too soon, maybe. British Airways sent out an enthusiastic tweet today. Your dollar has never gone further, it read, and with our amazing 3-day sale, you can see even more of London. So, I mean, I get that business is business, but, you know, still. By way of context, the pound was at $1.50 when the polls closed Thursday night, $1.50. $1.32 during trading today.
Is supported by the Siebel Energy Institute, supporting scientific research to increase the safety, reliability, security, and lower the environmental impact of energy production, delivery, and consumption. SiebelEnergyInstitute.org.
All right, Brexit Day 2 ended like this. The Dow off 260, about 1.5%. The Nasdaq down to 113, 2.4%. The S&P 500 dropped 36 points, 1.8%. Do not, whatever you do, look at your 401k today, all right? Our daily production team includes Bridget Bonder, Robert Garova, Jenny Josephson, and Daisy Palacios. I'm Kai Rizdal. See you tomorrow, everybody. This is APM.
This is Tom Ashbrook, host of NPR's On Point. We are shaking up the national conversation every day with movers and shakers in business, the arts, politics, science, sports, and more. It's bold perspective you won't hear anywhere else. Join us for the next On Point. Later today at 7 East or West on NPR Now.
For our complete schedule, go to npr.org/SiriusXM.
Hi everybody, Cardinal Timothy Dolan here from SiriusXM's The Catholic Channel. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I just did a cameo role on the season premiere of comedian Jim Gaffigan's TV show. And now guess what? Jim Gaffigan's going to be a special guest on my show.
I'm the practicing Catholic, and my wife will tell you I need the practice.
That's Conversation with Cardinal Dolan with the Gaffigans. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. East, exclusively on the Catholic Channel, SiriusXM 129, or listen on your phone with the SiriusXM app.
Marketplace is supported by Magoosh, online test prep for the GMAT, GRE, LSAT, SAT, ACT, TOEFL, and Praxis. Prep smart, go far, and enjoy the ride at Magoosh.com.
Stop me if you've heard this one before, all right? An Englishman, a Scotsman, and an Irishman walk into a bar, and then they all had to leave because the Englishman wanted to go. Pretty good, huh? From American Public Media, this is Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by Wix.com. Every business needs a website. With Wix.com, you can do it all by yourself with images, videos, text, and social media. Learn more at Wix.com.
In Los Angeles, I'm Kai Rizdal. It is Monday, the 27th of June. Great to have you here, everybody. First of all, thanks to Twitter for the opening joke. If you're the one who came up with it, let me know. I'll give credit where credit is due, of course. Second of all, it is becoming increasingly clear here that what we have is a failure to communicate. This is David Cameron, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, speaking in the House of Commons this very morning.
Mr. Speaker, we can reassure Europeans